Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Dream Team Tonic podcast, episode 15 on this Sunday night. With me, as usual, Ben, you there, mate?
How are you doing?
All good, pal. James, are you there?
I'm here, Tony.
Excellent. Full team. We'll dive straight in to my team. Not much to go on here in ways of points. A massive haul of 4 points, my team. And no European games to save me this week. So that is my game week points. 4. Mendy, 0, conceding to Burnley. Chilwell was a transfer in. Took out Lukaku, who obviously weren't playing this weekend. Brought in Chilwell. I was thinking guaranteed Chelsea clean sheet at home to Burnley, but wasn't to be. Rudiger, 0 as well. Semedo, I left him in because he was playing. I thought you never know, he might sneak a clean sheet at Palace. I didn't want to make the transfer. Bing bong. Too early. -1 for him. Bruno, another shabby display from United at home. 0 points. Mahrez didn't even get on the pitch. Benrahma had a bit of heroics in midweek, but nothing to show in the game against Liverpool. A great result for West Ham, but he didn't get a 7 rating. 0. Kevin De Bruyne got a 7 rating. He did all right. He had a couple of chances that he snatched at a little bit, but Salah, an assist. I mean, if you can call it an assist, I could probably have assisted that goal. 2 points, just failed on a 7 rating. Antonio, who were in and out of the game, I think 0, didn't manage a 7 rating. And another sub in, the second one was Azpilicueta, who didn't play, brought in Jota. It was a bit of a gamble, but I do like the look of Liverpool's fixtures going forward. So, bit of a double up there. Now we know Firmino is out injured for at least 4 weeks, have we heard? So, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, and give Benrahma a big up for you on Thursday as well.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he did a bit of magic for me, didn't he? He won me 50 quid.
Yeah.
The Algerian superstar.
Yeah, you better announce you won the weekly the game week.
Yeah, I stole it really from nowhere. My team Brad Friedel comes steaming through. What 144 points. Massive week. So
won by a point, didn't you?
Yeah, it was really close. With Dan Sherwood, I think he had 2 teams up there. Yeah, he had me sweating. But yeah, come through. Liverpool clean sheet, I think, and against Atletico probably did the magic, because I think Dan had Benrahma in both his teams. But yeah, nice haul. Nice 50 quid. Pays me entry fees. That's me done for the season. No worries. But yeah, not the greatest of weeks going into international break, but I did manage not to spunk all 5 of my transfers. So I've got the base there. I do know what I want to do. I've got the double up in Liverpool attack now. That's where I'm going to go. I think Fernandes is going to come out with Semedo, and I've got 1.9 million in the bank as well, and that is going to shore up my defence. I'm going to try and get Cancelo in before his price rise, and I'm not too sure on the other one, but I'll be able to upgrade Semedo massively, so that gets that sorted, and then I'll have 1 left, and that's probably, I don't know, I like the look of West Ham. And having Benrahma and Antonio, I don't know, that they're not ripping up trees and having massive hauls, but steady away. I mean, it's going to be easier games than Liverpool, isn't they?
Benrahma's like the next Mahrez, isn't he? Just if you take him out, he'll burn you.
Yeah, that's it. I'm looking at Mahrez there, sat there like another pissing me off. Do not play.
Yeah.
But if there were a Champions League game this week or a cup game, he'd probably scoring a couple.
Yeah, and another thing as well, Mahrez is still the top scoring midfielder in the game with 78 points, and Benrahma's second top scorer midfielder. So if you had them in from the start and you didn't take them out, you'd be laughing.
Yeah. That's probably why they're keeping the players there. Yeah. Go on, James, sorry.
I was going to say, do you not fancy Reece James to complete your Chelsea block instead of Cancelo? Have you thought about that at all?
Yeah, I'd love to have them both. And if there's some way, obviously we've got the break now, haven't we? If there's some way I could start wangling it around and maybe get both James and Cancelo in.
Yeah.
Definitely be happier like that. Because he's an absolute machine as well, isn't he, James?
Well, he they conceded, yeah, and I don't think he got any attacking returns, but he's still got like 9 points or something.
I
What he
think
got? No,
he
eight points.
stole an assist, didn't he? He
Did
got
he
an
get an
assist.
assist?
I think he did.
Yeah, he
Double
just
check
seems
that.
to be getting points week after week, doesn't he? So
Yeah, ticking along, and he's a massive threat as well, and he's always threatening for them attacking returns. So yeah, he crossed for Havertz to nod in.
right, yeah. Sorry, I
So
forgot about
so he got that. But yeah, I'm happy enough. I know it doesn't look great there with Semedo and Fernandes, but they were playing this week. I just didn't want to spunk the transfers, so I'll tidy that up after the international break. Obviously, injuries dependent. Get a few of the big hitters in, and then once we hit December, I should be having to use any transfers then. I can use my December transfers planning for January. Obviously, all being well.
Yeah, December's a long month, isn't it? Really, and
Yeah.
you've got the African Cup of Nations
Yeah.
on Boxing Day, so you're going to need to save some transfers to get rid of like Salahs and your Mahrez's, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely, mate.
And your Ben Ramas, I think. There's three I can see in your
Yeah,
team.
it's true. It's true. But obviously, if you holding back the 5 for in December, yeah, easy tidied up then.
Yeah.
Right, on to your team, James. Let's have a look at yours. I think yours is fared a little bit better, mate.
It has 51 points.
Happy days. That's
Well,
great.
I'm well happy with that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there with single digits this week, so it's made a massive difference. My best team is jumped to 681st. It was 1,500 last week.
Great
The
work,
week
mate.
before that, I think it was 2,000. So, I've made some good strides in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
51 points. Really happy with that. I brought in Edison, who got me 5 points. Finally got rid of Fabianski. Been ruining the decision to have him pretty much most of the season, although he has picked up a few points recently. Because he's not playing in Europe as well. I knew I had to get rid of him. So happy days. Managed to get Edison in for only a extra 0.1 million. Trent, what a star! 12 points. Couple of assists today. Starman. Reece James, 9 points. Diaz, 8 points. I brought in Chilwell this week. And I got rid of Aspilicueta because he doesn't seem to be playing as much and his ceiling is a lot lower.
Yeah.
I know some people might see that as a sideways move.
No, I think you're going from a flaky player there who's not getting much game time to I think Alonso's picked up with an injury, hasn't he?
He is. So Chilwell's
He's pretty
Alonso's
much nailed
out for a month.
completely now.
So he should play Chilwell should play nearly every game. Well, they might bring in one of the youngsters, I suppose.
Yeah.
So that's what nailed the decision, really.
Yeah, definitely good move.
So that was two. That's two of my transfers. In midfield, I got De Bruyne, got me 3 points. Ben Rama did nothing. One of my other transfer was to take out Jack Grealish and bring in Bernardo Silva. So that netted me 12 points. So well happy with that. Mahrez didn't play. And up front, Salah got 2 points and Antonio got nothing. So, pretty happy with that, really.
Defence smashed it for you there, didn't they?
Yeah, so I was tempted to burn all 5 transfers because what I could have done was bring in Laporte for Diaz. That would have if I'd done that, I would have been 8 points down because obviously Laporte wasn't even playing, but that was just to get the money to move Antonio to Kane. But I could still do that. But having watched Spurs today with 0 shots on target, I I might give the international think that one over the international break.
Yeah.
So I'm glad
Yeah.
I didn't go all 5. Appreciate both of your feedbacks when I asked you.
Well,
We're just screaming no at
yeah,
you. No!
yeah.
Don't do it, James.
Tony
You'll regret it.
Tony got burnt last month, and I got burnt the month before for going 5
Yeah.
transfers straight away. So
Yeah, I was like this. I've been telling other people to be patient, and people asking me advice. And I've been like, well, don't burn all your transfers. Save some from after the international break. And there's me thinking, right, well, I could burn all 5 here,
Yeah.
but I'm glad I didn't, and I've come out quite well from it, and I can use the international break to ponder my final 2 moves.
Definitely. I think the 3 moves you've made are
great.
bob on. I mean,
Yeah.
they've worked out as well. Obviously, Chilwell, a clean sheet would have been nice, but I think the move overall, like going forward next batch of games, it's a good
He's
move.
nailed, didn't he? So it's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you've got yourself 0.5 million back into the bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The silver move again. It's what it's saying. He's playing, isn't he?
Well, he's playing, and the Grealish seems to be since the last international break. He doesn't seem to be playing as many minutes, but Silva's playing every minute. Pep, after every press conference, is going, "Well, Bernardo Silva's amazing,"
Yeah,
literally praising him to bits, saying what a fantastic player he is.
yeah,
So, if anyone hasn't got him yet, I would say he's still only 2.8 million or something like that.
crazy.
Went down,
He's an
didn't he?
absolute bargain. Such a great enabler. I think you've got to have him, really.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, mate. Yeah, and then obviously the Edison move from Fabianski, no brainer. 2
Yeah,
games a
no
week.
brainer that.
Once the,
I doubt. I mean, I doubt I'll change my keeper again this season. Now
No.
I'll just leave him in there. Don't need to worry about that position now.
you can't touch him at that price, can you? Absolutely
Yeah.
crazy.
He only 5 points again though. Edison
Yeah,
0.15 off of a 7 rating.
Yeah,
It's very harsh.
frustrating that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, Ben.
Yeah.
Your turn, mate.
29 points, which I'm surprised about, really, with Sanchez getting sent off
Yeah,
against Newcastle. Took one for the team, didn't he?
he
Yeah.
did. He did. I didn't see it until earlier today. What had gone on, but yeah, you're not getting away with that one.
Yeah,
are
he
you?
just clipped his heels.
Yeah,
Nearly got away with
he
it
was
as well if it went for
fuming,
VAR.
fuming if you're Wilson. Yeah,
Yeah, so -3 for Sanchez. Alexander Arnold got me 12 points. Cresswell got me -1. Bit miffed how he's not taking the corners anymore. Jared Bowen.
yeah. Both of them were taken, weren't
Yeah,
they?
Bowen got 2 assists from. Got an assist from
Yeah.
open play, and I think he was involved with the 2 goals. Yeah, he was involved with the 2 goals from the corners as well. So yeah, strange. But yeah, he's still getting assists because he got me assist in the Europa League on Thursday.
Yeah, he's still a good asset,
Yeah.
Cresswell. Good player.
Reguilon, I'm so far in front of the curve.
Hold on, no,
I've got him
sorry.
now.
Sorry, just touching on. Sorry to jump in, but just touching on Cresswell.
Yeah.
I didn't know whether I seen James's face where he's thinking he should have been on the pissing pitch. Do you think he
we
should have been
left the
sent off,
tackle.
James?
Oh, absolutely! It was a horrific tackle.
There you go. Sorry to jump in there. I was just looking at James's face thinking, fucking Cresswell.
You ruined me joke
Go on.
now.
Sorry, mate.
I was just saying I'm so far in front of the curve. I've already got Reguilon in there for the fixture. And Antonio Conte coming in. Yes.
Yeah.
4 points there today. He must have got a yellow card, so
He did.
yeah. No 7 rating. Rudiger 0. Dodgy goal they conceded at the end there for Chelsea. I don't know what happened there. Got to confident. They thought they were going to smash it, didn't they? He played,
I mean, to be fair, they should have been about 8-0 up at half time, shouldn't
but
they?
you could tell that they played Havertz, Barkley, and Hudson-Odoi. Like if they played a stronger front three, they could have had that game all over with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They had 20 odd shots, only 4 on target though.
You definitely can't sit there and say Tuchel got it wrong though, because just watching the highlights, the first 10 minutes they could have been 2 or 3 up. If it weren't for some good goalkeeping and some good last ditch defending and a bit of harsh luck, I mean, they should have been out of sight. Never a 1-1 game, but yeah, he took the opportunity to rest a few. And
yeah, but you've
they
got like
paid the price.
Ziyech. He isn't injured, is he? He played in the
No,
Champions League.
I think Pulisic come on as well,
Yeah,
did he?
so I would have thought he'd start them players, give them a run out. Like
Pulisic only come on for like 5 minutes, if I remember correctly. But he's only just come back from injury, I suppose.
Yeah.
So they're trying to.
Whenever we
ease
speak
him
about
back in.
Pulisic, all we ever say is, "Well, he's just come back from injury."
yeah, I know.
Well, that is
Well, he's
true.
just come back from injury. That's all it is, isn't it? Pulisic.
Yeah, yeah. De Bruyne 3 points. Mahrez didn't play again, but like you say, 82 points, 78 points this season. So
Yeah.
just keep him in there for me now. Bernardo Silva, 12 points. Salah, 2 points. So Salah was only 0.08 off a 7 rating. So it's his first non-7 rating of the season as well. He's been smashing it.
Wow.
Harry Kane, blank, and Lukaku did not play. So I've kept me 5 transfers for after the international break. I wanted to reassess then. Pretty happy.
Did you have itchy fingers?
Not really. I could have done the Sanchez to Edison, but like they're playing Newcastle, I just thought,
Yeah,
clean
true.
sheet there, but he doesn't get some -3. But who could have predicted that? So
No.
yeah, that team's 50 points off the top 10 now. It's dropped off a bit. And some people had a good 40 points and 50 point scores.
Yeah.
My best team now is 2K. So yeah. How's your best team doing, Tone?
Oh, not great. My best team was my
Drinking Tonic team.
was this one at one point, but
But it's Brad Friedel now, isn't it?
it's had a good few weeks, that team. 10,000 there. It's actually Ryan Nelson.
Ryan Nelson, all right.
Yeah, 2 points above the Brad Friedel team, but
Rovers legends.
yeah, they are, mate. Absolute legends. Yeah, 2 guy coming up there. Rocky Santa Cruz is trying to march on the top ones. But yeah, I'm happy enough with the teams. I'm happy enough. Obviously, lots could change. December is a good month to you see a lot of change in December. I'm hoping to have my team prepped, ready, and have it attacking the top few K, definitely. But yeah, it's one of them, innit? Early days yet. I'd much rather be in your position, like James, up at 600. What did you say it was? 600
and... bear with 681st is my best team, which is
good start. That
I've jumped massively in the last few weeks. Yeah,
lovely. And like you said, Ben, top 2K, happy days. Good start, good solid starts. Right, today's podcast, as usual, as for the last month, has been brought to you by manscaped.com. The world champions in below the waist grooming. Smooth, sleek, got all sorts of features. This little lawnmower 4.0, trusty little number. 4000K LED spotlight. It's waterproof, so you can see what you're doing. You can shave your balls at shower. Cutting edge ceramic blade to stop them accidents. Wireless charging. You can customize the length of your ball hair with the guard lengths. Get this as a present. It's comes in a beautiful presented box. You've got all sorts in there. You got ball deodorant. What's the crop preserver? Some lovely silky underdrawers. It's a lovely gift. And obviously with our discount, 20% off, manscaped.com. Use the code Tonic. Get yourselves a nice 20% off and look after your balls a bit better. Yeah. Right, chaps. Stop shaving your balls with your face shaver. You need a proper tool for the job. Get one of these. These are state of the art. They're not going to chop your balls up. They're going to look like Phil and Grant, aren't they? As Fergie said on the last pod. Phil and Grant Mitchell. That's what you're going to get. You're going to be a nice, lovely little shaving bag with your ball deodorant, your crop preserver, your lovely box. You've even got some newspaper to put underneath your legs so you're shaving your pubes off and keep it all nice and tidy. You're right there, Ben. But yeah, anyway, this is it's manscaped.com. Discount code Tonic. Get over there. Get yourself a bargain. You won't look back, and your balls will thank you. Right, moving swiftly on. Ben. Right, we're going to go to the listeners' questions. I think we've got quite a few. I've been away this weekend, so I've not been as active. So we've got to you lads already. Andrew Barnett has been on. Over the last few weeks, there's been a lot of talk about Chelsea and Man City blocks. What are your opinion on the Liverpool defence, considering they've kept a few clean sheets? Now, he put this question in before the West Ham game. Obviously, we conceding 3 goals there, but I don't think that changes my mind on it. But yeah, James, do you want to touch on that, being our resident Liverpool expert?
Well, I would say Trent aside, if there's, I wouldn't be picking any other Liverpool options at the moment, mainly because there's 2 good other options. I think the Chelsea defenders are all scoring. Virgil van Dijk's too expensive. Nico Williams is no good. So if you're gonna have
Brutal. he's no good.
Sorry, my brain's gone. So yeah, I wouldn't have anyone at the moment apart from Trent. Matip's a bit of a rotation risk. It looks like Konate will take minutes off him, especially when we play teams with a bit more pace, like he did against United. Robertson's not been racking up the points the same this year, and I think Tsimikas might take some of his minutes, particularly over the Christmas period where there's back-to-back games. So for me at the moment, just Trent, because those Chelsea fullbacks are such good options. Man City have statistically got the best defence in the league, and Virgil's up there, but he's so expensive for what he's offering. He's 5.6 million. So for me, I'd just go Trent personally.
Yep. Ben?
Yeah, I totally agree that Trent's the best defender to have from Liverpool, obviously. But if you've got a team that's a bit further back, there's no problem going with a Liverpool block.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, if you're leading, you obviously already have Man City or Chelsea defenders in your team. So go that way with a sprinkling of Trent. But if you're a bit further behind and lagging, there's no harm in trying a Liverpool block out. Getting Robertson in there, it's 3.9. But yeah, like you say, Tsimikas has been playing a couple of games, been rotating him a bit. And Matip's been rotated a bit with Konate, so you just got to take that a little bit if you're going to try the Liverpool block. But yeah, what do you think, Tony?
Well, I did it earlier. I dropped in. I already had Trent and Robertson in the team. One of my lower sides. I thought, why not? Fixtures don't look too bad. Obviously, the Matip, Konate rotation, Tsimikas and Robertson at the minute, but there's no harm. It were pointless using 3 or 4 transfers to switch it to a Chelsea block. It's not going to make up any ground doing that. So I did drop in Matip for today's game, and they all got me a -2, apart from Trent, obviously. But yeah, definitely, it's worth a punt. Worth a punt with one of
Definitely
your
worth it, yeah.
lower sides. But yeah, like Ben just said, you're not going to be taking your Chelsea defenders out to take a punt if you're on your better teams and taking a punt on the Liverpool defence. But they've looked all right, to be fair, the Liverpool defence. Other than today, obviously, we got caught a few times. Van Dijk was fuming at some points, weren't he, with some of the defending, getting caught out on counter-attacks and that. But ultimately, they've looked quite solid.
Yeah. Fixtures are good, aren't they?
Yeah,
Well,
fixtures are good. So one thing that a little bit does put me off is obviously they've cemented Europe now, aren't they? Like they've qualified. I think they've even won the group, haven't they?
Yeah,
Which
they
is a
have.
little
They
bit
already won.
guaranteed top spot. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he's not going to put his under-23 side out. So he's
No.
still going to play. All right, he might rest Salah, Mane, so he might put Origi out and Minamino and the likes. But with the back four, can he rest all of them? Does he have the options? That's what I'm trying to say. Like
He's got Gomez to come
Gomez,
in.
Konate.
So it could be a back four of Timikas left back, Gomez in the centre with maybe Konate
Yeah.
or even Phillips. So it could be Gomez and Phillips who haven't played much, and then right back Nico Williams.
Yeah.
It's possible. There's a question about this further on, but Klopp did say that there's quite a lot of money for winning individual Champions League games.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's going to throw the kids in, but we actually have enough. It's certainly in defence, we have enough options there to play two different completely back lines
Yeah.
if we wanted to, including the
Yeah.
keeper. Kelleher is a very able stand-in for Allison, perhaps even better than Allison after today. Anyway,
flapping a little bit today, weren't he?
we won't go there. He had a bit of a mare. To be fair, the rest of the season he's been absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Today he had an off day.
One of them with keepers, they make any
happens,
little
doesn't it?
error of judgment, it can end badly.
Yeah.
Like, it's a goal usually. Sometimes it's going to happen, innit? Even with the best keepers, it'll happen. They're in that position, aren't they? So yeah, not cap it too harsh on Allison. He's been a pretty good keeper. We'll just jump down to that question from Lee Watson then, while we're on the subject of Liverpool and the rotation risk. Apart from this is Lee Watson asked the question. Apart from Salah, who do you think Liverpool players are a rotation risk now that they've won the Champions League group with 2 games to spare? Therefore, could essentially only have single game weeks. Obviously, just marry that in rather than revisiting it again.
Yeah.
A bit further on. Obviously, touched on the prize money for each group game. Surely he's not going to rest them all.
Well, I don't think he will. He was asked the question in an interview, and his response was, there are large fees for winning matches in the Champions League, and he said something about, I'm not sure the owners or the board or the club as a whole would be that happy if we just rotated willy-nilly and put the kids out. Effectively what he was saying. So I don't think he's going to literally throw the under-23s out there. It would demean the competition, and he has a lot of respect for it. And like I said, there are some large fees, individual match fees for winning as well. So
good stuff.
It'll definitely rotate, but it's not going to be wholesale rotation.
Happy days. We can cover that, haven't we, Ben? You need to add to that, mate.
You just broke up a little bit there.
Just add, mate, to that one. I think it's covered more or less, but
no, I was just trying to find out how much they get for each game. I think it's $1 million. Hang on.
For a win in the Champions League.
It's obviously it's money for winning it is the key thing there.
Each group game stage win is worth it's £2.4 million, and a draw is worth $800K.
That's
a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Even for a side like Liverpool. I mean, if you look at the prize money for like the League Cup and stuff like that, it's peanuts in comparison.
Yeah.
The Champions League is just on a different level, isn't it?
Yeah. But I think that answers it. I think you'll probably see strong lineups. So,
Yeah.
yeah, happy days. Flower Pot Man, where are we at with KDB, an expensive asset who's been managed a hell of a lot more this year? If he does become fit and play more, he'll probably break down again anyway. Is he someone we could look at replacing for cheaper? Bernardo Silva being the obvious, but most will now own him anyway. We automatically pick him, but I don't feel as he has the potential to hit the 13 to 15, etc. in seasons gone by. He started to slow down also last year, given the injuries, etc. etc. Where are we at? Ben, where are you at with De Bruyne?
Well, De Bruyne, um, he's one of them players, isn't he? He's like a bit like Mahrez. If you take him out, he'll punish you. Um, at the moment, he's not been scoring very well. I think he's got zero. He hasn't got no star mans this year. He's got 3 goals, 2 assists, and he was the third. But he was the third highest scoring player in the game on Saturday. So obviously, without any contributions, he got 7.5 rating.
Yeah,
Cancelo and Silva got a bit more than him, obviously, because they were involved with the goals. So he's still running games.
yeah.
He just wasn't involved with the goals this week. I'm not taking him out of any of my teams. I'm gonna be keeping him in. What
Uh,
do you guys think?
Go on, James.
Well, I can see where Flower Pot Man's coming from. I mean,
Definitely.
KDB is averaged 1 point per game in the last three,
Mm.
Yeah,
and 1.2 points per game in the last five.
yeah,
That's poor, isn't it? For 5.5 million. Um, but saying that, there aren't a huge amount of options to replace him with, and in that sort of, well, you could downgrade him, but there aren't. There's just not many players. Who are you going to downgrade him to if you've already got Bernardo Silva and Benrahma, and maybe Mahrez? I mean, there's not a lot to go for. You could sideways move him to Foden, I suppose. Um,
yeah,
for me, he's probably a hold at the moment, but I am a bit concerned about his output, and I will certainly be keeping an eye on it. And he could be, it could be just a placeholder for Foden going forwards if Foden looks like he's going to outscore him. I think.
yeah,
He was rested at the week in the Champions League as well, wasn't he? Against Bruges, King came off the bench,
Yeah.
yeah.
so he's missing quite a few games at the minute. But so is Mahrez. So just it's Kevin De Bruyne at the end of the day. He's the best midfielder in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
He
just
has
think
some.
he'll come good.
He has played nearly every game, apart from
Mm.
at the start of the season when he was when he was injured. But quite a few of those appearances are off the bench.
yeah.
It's not ideal, is it?
The like you say, there's not much else to go at other than probably Foden or Morris if you don't have them. If you had Fernandez and De Bruyne in your team, and you wanting to spend that cash elsewhere because you're not getting value for money from their like points per million and all that stuff. If you wanted to remove one of them, you're going to remove Fernandez. Well, in my eyes, I would remove Fernandez.
Yeah, definitely.
But although he's playing more minutes, he's playing all the time. But I just think KDB, like Ben said, he's the best midfielder in Premier League. His price is actually pretty cheap. I know he's not been doing it, but he could very easily be up at 6.5 million towards 7 million with a few decent performances and stuff. I just think they're going to come. He's not going to. He's not going to go through a whole season being shit. Like say we Harry Kane. He's going to go on a run of scoring week in week out, and the people that have either kept hold of him and just kept the faith, they're the ones that are going to prosper. Like they're going to benefit from it. I don't think it's time to give up on him yet.
It's interesting you mentioned Fernandez. I saw an interview with him this week, and he said people will probably chastise me because I'm not scoring as many goals as I was, but my role is now different in the team, and I'm playing deeper. And he said that he's there to sort of keep the team ticking over and provide opportunities, and that makes sense if you think about it. The whole team is now revolving around Ronaldo, so there's no way he's going to get the goals that he got in previous seasons. Um,
But
we aren't
what?
getting as many penalties now either, are we?
It's just silly though. I don't get it. Why you've got a player there who scored 20 odd goals in a season, so I'm going to move in positions. So I'm going to lose the team. They've got Ronaldo. I get it. Yeah, right. You brought Ronaldo in, so you want to switch around people's positions and the way you play and stuff like that. But you're taking away from that team all them goals, all them assists from Fernandes playing further forward, because Fernandes in that number 10 role, he like playing just behind them strikers, is unbelievable.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's been amazing the last two seasons. Well, since he's arrived.
So if there was one thing about United they didn't need to fix, that was Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
You've got this player who is ripping up trees for your team week in week out. Actually, why don't you build your team around him? Why go and get some 38-year-old?
But
Don't
it's
get me wrong.
Ronaldo.
Yeah, I know, and he is probably the best player in the world. Don't get me wrong, he's not the problem at United, but there's obviously more problems. But that is one of them. That interview, I've not heard that interview, but that's just astonishing. That
Yeah,
why are you trying to fix something that isn't broken?
I thought that was interesting. And yeah, he is, but he's much better up further up the pitch. Ollie's just doesn't seem to be able to get the right balance in that squad at the moment. It's all over the place, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Do you know, I was watching the game. I was away for the weekend, but I did get Sky go up and I was watching the game. I said to brother-in-law, I said, I think they'll be bringing Jadon Sancho on soon. I seen him warming up at half-time. That were at 60 minutes. And it were only until I watched Match at Day this morning that I realised Sancho come on at half-time, didn't
I think it might have been a bit later than that.
he? Was it?
Yeah.
I'm sure 46 minutes that it's shown on Match at Day.
I don't know. I was at work.
Let me have a look here. Yeah, Sancho, half-time, 46 minutes.
Yeah,
That's what it's shown on Match at Day. And I swear to God, at 60 minutes, I've not seen him. I didn't even know he were on pitch, just genuinely. And I've not had that many beers either. So,
did you see Donny van der Beek finally, as Ollie did? I texted a few of my friends and said, "This is a last chance saloon for Ollie. This is it's the last throw of the dice. He's had Donny van der Beek sat there on the bench for God knows how long. He's going to I better give him at least 10 minutes just to see if he's any good."
yeah. It's a tiny little player, Donny van der Beek. To be fair, he probably do all right in a better side.
But he was nailed in that Holland squad, and now he's lost his place.
Yeah,
Star man for Ajax. Yeah, it's a strange one that they've spent £40 million on a player that hasn't played.
Yeah, it's weird.
Bizarre.
Something not right. I can't see him lasting too much longer. Although, to be fair,
actually, it leads quite nicely into the next question, doesn't it? From Fergie's Apprentice.
It does. Fergie's Apprentice has been on. Now, I'll stick his team up on screen for anybody watching on YouTube. Now with this team set and bringing Foden in for Traore after the break, should I be looking at holding the next set of transfers, or should I upgrade Sanchez? So he's told you that he's already used 3 subs: Alonso to Chilwell, Torres to Bernardo Silva, and Lukaku out and Jota in. He's got $1.5 million in the bank. James, you want to go first, mate?
Yeah, sure. Well, the first thing I'd like to say is, Fergie's Apprentice, you need to change your team name. It's currently Ollie's Wheelie Good, and well, clearly he isn't. So
Ollie's wheelie shit.
Yeah, no. In all seriousness, I mean, Traore is the thing that sticks out to me mainly in that side. He's got $1.5 million in the bank.
It's got potential, Traore.
But maybe. if he plays.
Yeah,
So 2.6 million is Traore's at the moment. If you add one after that, he's got 4.1 to play with, but he's got 2 transfers, so it's not the easiest thing to um, advise. Um, I tend to look at all my transfers in a block of 5 and have a plan for the last 2. Because what you can do, of course, if you're not careful, is you want to make some extra moves, but then you haven't got the funds to do it. So
yeah,
he's also got Sanchez in there. Um, that's probably second priority. Rafinha's he's ticking along, isn't he? He's doing all right. He's a great player, and there aren't that many European fixtures coming up. So I think the 2 priorities there are Sanchez and Traore, but I don't know if you're going to be able to do what he probably would want to go someone like Foden, I think, in midfield.
yeah.
But he's not going to be able to do that without downgrading elsewhere. What do you boys think?
Go on, Ben.
What about Fornals? He's doing all right, isn't he? The
He's doing all right
Traore.
today, isn't he? How many
Yeah,
points did he get today? I'll have a look.
he were unlucky to not grab a second goal and all that. Did he that corner? Did they give it as an own goal?
Yeah,
He
he's got
took
10 points today.
four hours took that corner. I don't believe that got given as an own goal. That were on
Yeah,
target.
he got the assist for that.
Ah,
Yeah,
shocking
because
that.
Zuma was saying that it's definitely 2 goals for Fornals in the
Yeah,
interview after the
without
game.
a doubt. He's done that's what Pedersen used to do at Rovers. Just he used to swing that ball in and just aim for a goal. Aim for
Yeah,
a goal, just let the keeper have to deal with it. So hard for a keeper to deal with that ball under the crossbar.
Especially when Antonio's blocking the keeper. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and then Ogbonna as well. I
Yeah.
mean, they were good tactics from West Ham. They obviously they'd worked on that. They were playing to that, weren't they? As you seen with the Zuma goal, put it
I
over
think
to
they
back
were.
post. But yeah, definitely 4 hours is a good shout, Ben. Should have had a couple today.
yeah, he's doing
So
all
what
right.
was it? Yeah, 2.5 million in it.
Yeah, 2.5 million, 4 goals this season, 1 star man, 2
Yeah,
assists.
European games. It
Yeah,
will go up in price as well. So
mm,
I think Traore to 4 hours is a very good shout. It'll get you the value. It will up your team value, and obviously you're getting a decent player in form playing European games.
yeah, and he should have enough for Edison then.
Yeah, for Sanchez
Yeah,
to Edison, I think that's 2 very sound transfers.
Yeah.
It gets him out of a little bit of a hole there with having the 2 obviously cheapy players.
If he does Edison, though, he's going to have to do it this week, isn't he? Because Sanchez is going to
yeah,
be dropping and
Yeah,
Edison's going to be going up. Because
definitely.
otherwise,
He's going to have to take the risk and use the transfers
yeah,
before
yeah,
this Friday coming. So
yeah.
obviously
It's a
he's going to
long,
be using them in the international break. It could
yeah,
happen, but
it's a long-term risk as well. I mean, it's a long-term transfer, so it won't matter too much if he misses the game after the international break, because
yeah,
Brazilians seem to always miss the first game back, don't they?
yeah,
We don't know what the crack is this time, but if they miss that game again, he might play in the Champions League anyway afterwards, so it's not too bad.
yeah,
yeah.
I wouldn't worry too much about that. Like you say, Ben, I think you're right.
I think yeah,
Yeah,
2 sound
definitely do it
transfers then.
before Friday.
Yeah. As soon
On
as you
both.
listen to this, Fergie's Apprentice, just get him done now, mate. Get him locked in, and that's 2 sound transfers. You finally get Traore out your team, and you'll avoid the. I mean, Edison's going to go up. Sanchez down. 4
Yeah,
hours will go up. Traore, did he get on the pitch?
tell you now.
I mean, if he got on pitch, he didn't do much, so he'd probably be going down again if he did. I guess if they were chasing games, sure they brought him on.
Yeah, he came on. He got 6.
Yeah, so he's probably going to drop a little bit as well. So you'll hold your value, it'll go up in value, and you've got, well, not too bad, 2 new signings to be all right. That
Yeah, Rafinha's ripping it up at the moment, isn't he?
he is come back from injury. I think he's scored in back-to-back games now where he's
He
scored.
has, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, he's done well.
Yeah,
He's the star of that Leeds side, isn't he?
he's definitely going to move on at the end of this year, end of this season. United will probably go in for him with the new manager. Right, Keith Ledger. I still don't know whether that is his real name, Keith Ledger. I don't know, but
Are you
with Man,
thinking of Heath Ledger?
yeah. I
Yeah.
just every time I just think of the Joker. But anyway, with Man City having played Liverpool, Chelsea, United, Brighton, and Leicester away from home already, what are your thoughts on the block Man City team set up for the rest of the season? James?
I think if you can afford to move to a Man City block, I think it's certainly a viable option. They've got the best defensive stats in the league. Saying that, you will keep going back to those Chelsea fullbacks. Um, I mean, you've got Cancelo from that that City defence, and obviously he's in a different league, isn't he, to the rest of the defenders there because of his attacking prowess.
Yeah.
With the likes of Diaz and Stones and Walker, they don't tend to get involved in the goals or the assists as nowhere near as much as maybe some of the Chelsea guys.
Yeah.
So if it's a separate team, I mean, I've got a couple of teams that are with a Man City block, and they're doing quite well. So
Yeah.
if you've just got the one team, I do think the Chelsea defenders, they tend to score well. Their defenders are scoring more than their attackers at the moment.
Yeah.
So I would just bear that in mind if you're doing transfers. Certainly, Cancelo is brilliant. What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, totally agree. If you've already got a few City defenders in there and you're wanting to creep up the league, there's no brainer going for City players. Um, Ideally, my ideal defence is at the moment Trent Alexander-Arnold, Cancelo, Chilwell, and James. So there's two Chelsea defenders in there, but they're all attacking wing backs. So that I'm going that way if I can eventually. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, if you can do the block, there's nothing wrong with trying it. Definitely, it's a no brainer, really.
Yeah, you got cheap enough now with Ederson, obviously at 3.2 million.
Yeah,
He's a cheap way in. Diaz is cheap, 4.3 is he at minute, something like
Yeah,
that.
they keep dropping, don't they?
yeah,
Yeah,
4.3.
obviously they're set to rise. They'll go going back up this week, but
Laporte's cheap,
Laporte's
3.3.
cheap. Yeah, I mean, I know we said it last podcast. I said, "What's John Stones done wrong? Why did he get dropped?" And then he goes and puts one in his own net, didn't he, in midweek?
Did you?
But yeah, obviously Laporte expected to come straight back into the side after his suspension, nice and cheap. You could do it, but like Ben says, Reece James, Trent,
Yeah,
they're just flooding with attacking returns. If you've not got them, you're going to suffer a little bit. So it depends on what you can afford. Um, but yeah, Man City block, just like Chelsea block. Yeah, definitely.
remember last year, like everyone was on the Man City block, weren't they? After Christmas,
Yeah,
and we went for me and you were talking about Chelsea block all the time, saying, "Oh, this is time jump on them
yeah.
because the fixtures were good." And they weren't too good at a point, but they were going to turn.
Mm-hmm.
And we got on them when they were quite difficult, and then they turned, and then we flew up the table. I remember, you
Yeah,
just gotta gamble sometimes.
yeah, you do. And I remember that, obviously, about jumping on it a little bit earlier. I think there were 2 or 3 games he had a run of some awful, really difficult Champions League games, and they kept clean sheets in all 3 games. I remember it. I think they had like United, and then some difficult Champions League game, and then it might have even been City or Liverpool after that.
Yeah,
And they kept clean sheets in all of them.
mm.
So yeah, we absolutely flew. But yeah, that is what it's about, isn't it? Getting on a little bit earlier. You've got to take the punt, otherwise you're not going to get anywhere. You can't follow the trend after the trend has started, kind of thing, because you're not going to make massive moves. Yeah. So Lee Hooper, been on again. Where did they get the Conference League ratings from? That's one that's baffled me. I think you've touched on this, haven't you, Ben? They barely
Yeah.
move all game. There's no sevens. He's got three parts to that question. So, yeah, that's your first one, Ben. Conference League. Where are them ratings coming from?
Well, I contacted Dream Team Tonic, Dream Team, Dream Team support about this, and they went, "Hi again, Ben. Their messages state that they won't be providing full coverage, meaning who scored. I'm unaware if there will be partial coverage. If who scored is not able to provide ratings for us, the promoter, which is the Sun/News UK, will be completing the ratings manually. So basically, the Sun's going to do it, the Europa Conference, because who scored are not going to be doing the Europa Conference ratings. So
Right.
there you are, straight from the horse's mouth.
So the
If
power
that's
is in
true.
their hands.
So you get ratings for the Vanarama League or whatever it is, but not for the Europa Conference.
That's the level of competition, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh,
who scored are not providing the ratings. Yeah, because I messaged who scored. I've got a message here as well. So, morning, Ben. Thanks for your message. I'm afraid we won't be providing the full detailed coverage for any Europa Conference League matches. Apologies for any inconvenience caused by this.
Yeah. That sorts it for you. Like, they basically do lucky dips and they're just sorted themselves.
it's the magic 8 ball again.
Yeah, it is.
It's
Shake
the
it
one
up
that
and
they
see what
use-
it comes out with.
The one that they use for the price rises.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you seen how they're doing the group stages this year and how you knockouts? How do you get into the knockout stages in that in the Europa League in the Europa Conference? So if you finish first in the Europa League group, you go through to the last 16. And if you finish second, you play third place from the Champions League in a playoff.
Ah.
So whoever wins the playoff goes through to the last 16. So there's an extra game for the second place team. And the third place team drops straight into Europa Conference League. So Leicester could be dropping into that league if they carry on.
Jesus.
And what else is it? Second place from the Europa Conference League. I think. No, you cut that bit out.
Do they drop into Vanarama National League?
You cut that bit out. I got confused there. I'm sure that something else.
It's all right, mate. Don't worry about it. What minute we on? 53:31.
What? I know that's
We'll be able
right.
to leave it in. We'll be able to leave that in. No, I'll take out your bit saying cut it out.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Fucking hell, what?
we'll leave the gag in.
Second.
Don't worry about where they go. They drop into fucking abyss, mate. Because
the third place team in the Europa League plays second place in the Europa Conference League for a playoff to get through to the last 16 in the Europa Conference League. Do you get that?
Right, yeah.
So you don't qualify automatically from third in the Europa League. You get a playoff against second in Europa Conference League.
Jesus Christ.
So there's extra games there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Need to keep an eye on. Yeah, they are, Lee. Europa Conference League. What a fucking sham. Absolute sham. Anyway, second part of his question. Right now, out of the two, Antonio or Jesus? Jesus. Whatever you want to say. Jesus. Up north, it's Jesus.
Jesus.
Go on, Ben.
Tough one, that.
It is.
Jesus is doing all right at the moment. He's getting the goals and assists, but Antonio's not getting the ratings at the moment. But tough fixtures. Jesus is getting rotated with Mahrez. It's a tough one, that. I wouldn't like to say.
Gun to head.
If I had to pick one out of two.
Yeah.
Antonio.
Yeah. Go on.
He's nailed and he's on penalties.
That's true. True.
And West Ham are playing really well.
Yeah. James, you agree that?
I do. Yeah, there's only 3 points separating them. Did you know that?
Mm.
It's a close call, isn't it? I gun to head, I'd go just Antonio as well. I think.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Jesus. I think we touched on him in the last pod about his positioning, where he's playing in that City side now. I think he's found his position there. I really enjoy watching him there. I think he's brilliant. But yeah, Antonio, penalties, massive factor. He's their main man. And
Yeah.
as they progress in that in the Europa League, then he's going to start playing every game in there as well. So he will be playing double game weeks. I don't care what Moisey says about trying to save his hamstrings and all that crap. When it comes to the bread and butter, and when obviously the Premier League games and the latter stages of the Europa League, he's going to have to play him twice. He's going to have to. That's their man, innit?
I'm surprised he's lasted this long.
I am as well. But then when he gets to the last 8 of Europa League, do you reckon he's going to be playing Yarmolenko up there, or no? He's going to have to put Antonio out there. Let's go and win that trophy. So he's going to have to put Antonio's hamstrings under a strain. So then we'll see, then, won't we? We'll see what kind of Weetabix they're made out of. Right.
Chocolate ones.
Yeah. Anyway, are you surprised by current ownerships? Bruno is still 59% owned, Grealish 33%. There's some seemingly solid picks on 10% or even less at 5%. James?
No, I'm not surprised at all. Clearly, not every manager is engaged as us lot or our listeners.
Yeah, it's true.
And there are a lot of Man United fans out there. So that's why Bruno's. I mean, historically, Bruno's been a fantastic pick. I'm not surprised he's still on nearly 60%. Grealish has been doing all right, but he's trailed off. I think people are gradually moving away from him. But I totally agree. You only have to look at our differential picks this week to see that there are still some solid picks that are 10% or under owned.
Yeah.
Both Reece James and Chilwell are under 10%. Jota's under 10%. Who was the other pick? Foden was under 10%.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So there's still some bargains to be had that will get you up the rankings. So I'm not that surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to add a couple more as well. Bernardo Silva, he's 9.6. Laporte 3.9. Fornals 1.7%, and Bowen 1.8%.
Yeah,
they're all doing really well.
Some really solid picks there, aren't they? Like James says, he's 59% Bruno. There's players that aren't. They just pick the team at start, and that's it. You don't see from them again. So that'll be a lot of teams sat there with just Bruno sat in there. Grealish 33%. It's a strange one because it's not so long ago we were speaking about Grealish being nailed in the City side. He's the only one that's playing all the time. He's trickling along with 3s and 5s. And next thing you know, 2-3 weeks later, we're talking about Grealish never gets a game. It's so frustrating. But we got to go off of what we're seeing. And at the minute, Grealish is a little bit out of favour. I wouldn't say he's properly out of favour. He's just been rested a few times. But Foden fancied in that striking role or dropping off. Obviously, Jesus is fancied on the right-hand side. Mahrez struggling there. There's a lot of solid picks. Ben just going through a few there. Like Fornals and Bowen at West Ham. 1% owned. Massive. Foden. Is it your pick that, Ben? Weren't it Foden in differential?
Yeah. 8.3.
I when you put Foden in it, I went and checked. Like bollocks. That's not right, is it?
Yeah.
But,
he was only 7%. He was only 7% before the weekend,
and he's still not gone over 10% now, has he? Even after these transfers. Yeah. Some very, very good picks down there. So, yeah, not surprising. Right, we've touched on that one from Lee Watson. Nobbles, with the European competitions nearly done with, who are the best value players to bring in for December? Early bird catches the worm. But yeah, we touch on obviously saving our transfers for planning for the big month in December because a lot of games, a lot of chopping and changing. James, is there anybody that we've not discussed that you're thinking for December?
Well, before I give you a couple of potential picks, there are 20 in the Dream Team top. Well, before today's games, in the top 20 Dream Team scoring players, there's only one player from a side without European games. Can you
Yeah.
name him? Who is it?
Rafinha?
Eh?
Rafinha?
No. You're going to kick yourselves if you don't get it. You know it is. So whilst you're both thinking about
I know, just the massive silence while we
Aubameyang.
scratch our heads.
whilst you're both thinking about that, I'll explain what I'm getting at here. The top, the sides with European games are the better sides generally.
Yeah.
So that's why only one player in the top 20 is from a side without European games.
Yeah.
Who is that player then who's in the top 20 players? We've talked about him quite a lot on the pod and we've laughed about it. Who is the one player in the top 20 that's not got European games?
Aubameyang.
Not Aubameyang. Not Aubameyang.
Come on, guys. You're going to
Oh.
kick yourself.
Go on, you're going to have to tell us, mate. I'm
You've
looking.
had a hard weekend. It's Andros Townsend.
Oh,
yeah.
my mate. Sue! Yeah.
Ever since
He
he's
hasn't
done
done
that,
anything
he's been
since that
rubbish.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's cursed. That was his last goal, that weren't it?
Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot to do my picks, didn't I? I sort of digressed a bit there. So
Not Andros Townsend then.
no, surprisingly not. Definitely not. So Conor Gallagher, 2.4 million. If you look at his points per million, he is
Yeah.
right up there at 2.4 million. And I got these stats before he scored as well. So he might even be top of the points per million now. So there is a place for some players without European competitions. If you just look at the points per million, which is what we all should be looking at more often, I think. Got Gallagher's one. Livramento, he's 2.8 million. He's doing really well for Southampton. And don't forget, of course, there aren't any European games over Christmas. Well, after the mid December. So Emil Smith Rowe, 2.9 million. He's up there on the points per million as well. So that would be my three picks. What do you guys think?
Yeah, the
Probably.
only one for me, if I was going to pick one at the moment, is Smith Rowe. He's got a nice run of fixtures coming up, and he scored in his last 4 games. He's got 8, 8, 0, and a 15, and he's got 5 goals in his last 8 games.
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
49 points, only 2.9 million as well.
He should have had another goal this weekend as well. He should probably got 2. But yeah, he's one that I've jotted down as well. Good fixtures as well for Arsenal, and massive plus is that they've got the cup game as well in December.
Yeah.
So I think with that, yeah, Smith Rowe is definitely he's on my radar.
Yeah.
Conor Gallagher, I love the Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher is a top player. He will go to the top. He's very, very good.
Funny enough, sorry, Tony, both 2 of those players are Chelsea loanees, aren't they? Oh no, Livermento's signed, didn't he? But he's got a buyback clause. But Gallagher is on loan, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, Livramento, yeah, he's big quality, isn't he?
He's
You can see why he can't get in to the Chelsea side, but obviously his Chelsea's not Chelsea's loss, but it's a game for Southampton. They get a very, very good fullback for however long, obviously on a cheap deal. Obviously with the buyback, I'm pretty certain that buyback might be activated in the next couple of years.
I'd love to see him go to Liverpool. We desperately need some cover at right back. He would be amazing.
He will. He's got it all, hasn't he? He's a very, very good player. But yeah, I mean, there's not enough within them fixtures or to drag me completely away from the European sides still, because, like you said, they're the better players, they score more. I mean, look at Leeds fixtures: Chelsea, Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool. You don't want Rafinha really, and then do you, as well as he is doing. Um, he's all right up until that point, but mid-December they really do turn for Leeds.
Like you say as well, it's always a transfer waiting to happen again, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's it. One transfer becomes two,
Yeah.
because you're obviously going to have to replace that player as well. So, yeah, I think a couple of players there of value drop down onto West Ham players. Fornals, who we touched on earlier, Fornals. Ben Rama's still probably value. Bowen, Jared Bowen. It was only 2 or 3 pods ago. We were on about Bowen saying about him being an option and touching on why is he not scored as many for West Ham as, because he lit up the Championship for Hull. He
Yeah.
were unreal. He's a goal scorer, Jared Bowen. And then since then, I don't know where I don't know if it's just fair. Like he's had a bit of a kick up the arse. He seems to be coming out with some goals and assists now. So he's put a bit of end product to his good displays, because he's a very good player. Right, so one from Connor. International break couldn't have come at a better time after his 1 point shocker so far this week.
1
This is-
point.
I thought 4 were bad. I thought my 4 point were bad, but his question this week is: what are the best 3 mil to 4 mil midfield options in your guys' opinions? Personally, he's seen Mora, who could be worthwhile, but that's about it. Yeah, James.
Yeah, Moira. He never seems to get the returns he should do, does he? I don't think his finishing is up to scratch. I would keep an eye on him though, because Conte has a track record of improving players.
Yeah.
But I don't like Moira as an option. He's not bad for that price, but he's not great. He just doesn't seem to finish enough for me. I prefer Bernardo Silva, Ben Rama, or as I said a minute ago, Conor Gallagher. I prefer over Moore. I think
Yeah.
would be my picks.
I think they're all cheaper, aren't they?
He's within his price bracket.
Yeah.
Moira's 2.6 million. Bernardo Silva is going to be pushing. He's 2.8 now, I think. Ben Rama's what, 3.7. Gallagher's pretty cheap. Gallagher is
2.4
2.4.
Gallagher.
Yeah.
More is free.
More.
Is it
Yeah.
3
More.
now? Okay.
You got Ziyech there at 2.7.
He was
Yeah.
2.5 until he scored in the Champions League in midweek. He went up
Jesus.
0.3.
Yeah.
But he doesn't play enough for me, Ziyech.
Yeah.
That's the trouble. Hudson Odoi there at 2.4 seems to get a bit of game time.
He can't score a goal.
Um,
He should have scored at the weekend.
Yeah.
yeah. Tuchel doesn't seem to rate. I like every time I watch Ziyech, he looks good, but Tuchel clearly doesn't rate him.
Yeah.
Not highly enough. He gets a few minutes here and there, but yeah, it's a strange one that just doesn't play enough for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saka 3.4. Obviously, we touched on Smith Rowe. Saka were probably unlucky not to have a goal today.
Had one chalked off, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, Aubameyang touched it onto him. Do you see Aubameyang try to steal Odegaard's goal as well?
No,
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
Missed that one.
Yeah, Odegaard, nice little finish, but Aubameyang jumped in on it on the line and touched it over the line, and he was way offside.
He's had a
Oh,
nightmare
no.
today, isn't he, Aubameyang? Yellow card, missed penalty, and try to nick a goal as well.
Yeah, it was shocking.
Would it have been off? Would the goal have been offside? If
No, it
Aubameyang-
was a goal.
Hey,
It was a goal.
it was a goal. Oh,
Yeah.
that was stupid then.
Yeah,
That was greedy, wasn't it? If he
Really
hadn't
daft.
touched it, it would have been a goal then.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not good, is it?
Odegaard didn't look happy.
He should know better, really, shouldn't
Mm.
he, Aubameyang? Really.
Yeah, there's some good options at 3 to 4 mil. We just touched on them. West Ham, absolutely flying West Ham, and I think a lot of the names that going to come up. Bowen at 3.2 million. Souček not been his deadly self at the minute, but he's there 3.1 million. There's always a danger in the air. Not for me, but Benrahma 3.7 million.
Can't go wrong with him.
Sterling 3.9 million. Can't get a game, but
no. What about Declan Rice? He's on 54 points.
Love watching Declan Rice play football. I love it.
Yeah.
He's
doing really well this season.
He is. He's brilliant. He's a likeable guy as well. He's brilliant. He's so much more than just a defensive midfielder. He's such a good footballer as well.
Yeah.
He's got everything. He is one of them. Why one of the... I don't want to be detrimental to West Ham, but why one of the bigger sides or the more lucrative sides didn't pick him up in summer, I have no idea. I don't know what they're watching.
I think everyone's budget this year was a little bit strained by COVID. Man United will surely go in for him in either. Well, they won't sell him in January, will they? But in the summer, I think they need someone like Declan Rice, don't they?
Definitely.
I'd like to see him at Liverpool as backup for Fabinho. 18 million backup.
And I don't want to slag Fabinho off, but I just think Declan Rice walks into any Premier League team. I think he's that good.
He seems to have changed his game this season. He's gone more of a box-to-box midfielder.
Than he's too good of a footballer to hold back. You can't just sit him in front of back four. He's too good.
3 goals and 3 assists this year.
Well, that stat about he's been dispossessed once this season.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
That is unreal. That's just a crazy stat. Very, very complete footballer. It's just a shame, isn't it? That he can score goals, he can get assists. He doesn't do it that often, but he's there on 54 points, and that's more than Bowen. That's 1 point more than Bowen so far. But it's one less than Rafinha. So he is racking the points up. Good option. 3.3 million, is it? 3.3, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bit of a Declan Rice loving though. He's a very good footballer. I like him. Right. James has been on. Guniella. Stick with Pep Roulette in Mahrez and KDB or switch to a guaranteed starter with nice, hopefully, fixtures in Son. My international break dilemma. City mids bang now and again, but Son could be scoring every game. Ben, you want to touch on this first, mate?
Well, I wouldn't be doing it in any of my good teams. I might do it in my teams are struggling, try and get them further up the tables. Definitely stick with City mids. I think they just score goals every game, don't they? So
yeah,
you take them out, and then the player you take out will go and bang 20 points, and you'll be gutted.
Definitely.
What do you think, James?
I agree with that. I know it's only one game, small sample size and all that, but Spurs had no shots on target today.
That's 2 games in a row, 2 weeks in a row, isn't it? 2 Premier League games in a row.
Yeah, 2.5 football matches, I think.
They do have some lovely fixtures coming up though, and surely Conte will get that. Won't continue. Everton, Rafa probably set them up Everton up pretty well. But it's a tricky one. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. My plan was to bring in some Spurs assets, but it might be too soon. It's an interesting one. Would you be dropping Man City midfielders for a Spurs asset? I don't think I would. But as a more general question, what do you think about Spurs going forward? Are you looking to bring some in after the international break?
I held off this week. It'd be nice to get on the bandwagon early, like we said, but you've got to take punts, haven't you? You've got to get onto them early. I was tempted a little bit by Kane and Son in all formats of the game, not just Dream Team, but other formats as well. And I did hold off, which obviously now looks like a wise decision. But Conte will have them. I think we got an international break now, 2 weeks. depending on how many players go away and how long does he have a bit of time to spend with them
Yeah.
beforehand, afterwards? It's difficult to know, but surely he's going to get more work into him next couple of weeks at some point, and he's a very good manager. He's going to turn that side around. I can't see Conte not getting the best out of them players.
Just thinking about Spurs squad, it's just going to be Eric Dyer and Conte, isn't it? Which isn't actually a bad thing if you speak to any Spurs fans. The one player that needs extra coaching is Eric Dyer.
Poor Eric. Yeah, it's one of them. I think they're going to become good assets at some point. Am I saying it's going to be definitely next week or the week after? Sorry.
Like you say, yeah. If your team's struggling in the mini league, it's worth the punt, especially with Mura and Leeds next. Mura could be a right proper going over, couldn't it? Could be 5-5. Depends what team they put out though.
I reckon he'll go pretty strong because he wants to get some rhythm.
Yeah.
And he wants to get work out his best first 11. I mean, obviously he's going to give the likes of Dele Alli a run out and to see if he can get him firing as well. But yeah, I don't think it'll be wholesale changes. It's my gut feeling.
Yeah, I agree there, James. I think he's going to be very strong in every game until he gets, like you said, Spurs cannot afford to be resting players and just take that game a little bit easier. They've not got the rhythm. They've not got the continuity. They've not got the game plan. He needs to drill that all into him in live games. This is what he needs to see from him. Which players are going to buy into what he's doing, whether it's pressing or just certain positional stuff. And yeah, I think that you'll see a strong Spurs lineup every game, and therefore they're cheap assets. But if they carry on playing like they've played and there is no change, and you know what, actually it's not the manager that's the problem, it's just a complete attitude within the squad, then you're in trouble. But yeah, it's a good punt. It's there for everybody to have a do at. The players are dirt cheap. Other than Kane, Son's still held his price pretty decent as well. It was about 5.1.
So I think
he's held his price. I mean, so they aren't cheap, but like Reguilon, who's I know he got a clean sheet, but only got 4 points today. But as an attacking threat, he's a very good player. But you could sneak a few clean sheets out of that back line. Yeah, Conte is a good manager. He'll get them going.
So strange, like the first game he took over, they went flying out, scored loads of goals straight away, and then the defence looked shocking. And then today, the defence looks good. They got the first clean sheet under him, and then they couldn't score. They didn't even have a shot on target.
Yeah,
just getting the balance.
It's the balance, and that's why he's going to have to keep playing his strongest team, or what he sees his strongest team, and get that balance right. He can't afford to start chopping and changing and dropping players out that he wants in there. He needs to instill it into him. So, I mean, I wouldn't personally be taking, unless you're in trouble, you won't be taking Mahrez and KDB out to fund a move for Son or whatever else, because it's a big gamble. But if you're using your lesser sides, then yeah, definitely have a do. Couple of defenders even. Why not? Because you'll quickly get away from you anyway. You need to make up some ground. Right. On from there, FPL now then young man, Ian, has been on. 0.6 in the bank. He has Lookman and Shaw to get shut of. Who are the best replacements? James?
Well, I have been watching, I've watched Spurs' last two games, and one thing I would say from watching them is the fullbacks look much more attacking. For that sort of money, which isn't a lot, mind you, Lookman scored, didn't he?
Yeah.
This question came in after before Lookman scored, so he might be changing his mind. But I think Emerson Royale is only 2.2 million, something like that. 2.1 million he is. Sergio Reguilon's 2.8.
Yeah.
Those two guys. You might even want to consider Ben Davis at 2 million. He's playing left-sided centre back, and I was listening to the FPL Planet podcast, and James, the host of that, is a massive Spurs fan, and he's saying that Ben Davies is stepping out to provide a lot of the link play and getting quite far forward. So I wouldn't necessarily go with. I'd probably prefer the fullbacks,
Yeah.
but even Ben Davies is worth keeping an eye on, I think.
So we've been playing him in a back three, has he?
Yeah, so he's been playing a back three, and Ben Davies has been the left-sided centre back.
Yeah. He's been used there before, I think, Davis, hasn't he, as a left-sided centre half?
Yeah, more for Wales, I think.
Yeah. Because he's quite a tall lad, isn't he, Davis? He's got a bit of height
he's a big
about him.
lad.
Yeah. But it's a good bit of insight, that, obviously. Cheap players. I mean, as soon as you're seeing Lookman, Shaw, you're looking at funds. So then instantly you're thinking Spurs. I mean, for me, I've got wrote down Lookman to Fornals, Shaw to Reguilon. He's probably doable off that, I think, off the 0.6.
Yeah, I think that's doable. Shaw's gone down to 2.9, I see.
Yeah.
But Reguilon's 2.8, 2.9.
Yes, he's got plenty there to then. I mean, I think they're both upgrades, both European players still. But obviously, Lookman scored today. He seems to be getting a bit of game time at Leicester, but we've got a resident Leicester expert.
It scored. It got disallowed for VAR, didn't it?
Oh, did it?
Get out!
Not another one.
Ben's there like, wind up, you two, you set of bastards.
VAR again. VARD assist got disallowed.
Here we go again every week.
I know, it's becoming a theme, isn't it?
I didn't see the replay properly, but Rodgers has been going on about it after the game, Brendan Rodgers, and he's been saying that the VAR video that the refs used was wrong. That they used it when the ball had already left Vardy's head to assist Lookman's goal, and they were saying it was already left his head when they looked at the freeze frame.
Yeah,
they should have looked at it when it was on his head. So when it was on his head, he said he was onside. I haven't seen the footage.
Infuriating.
Do you know how many goals? I don't know the answer to this, but wonder how many goals Leicester have had chalked off this year through VAR. Because it's quite a lot, isn't it? They must be top of it.
Must be 4 or 5.
Yeah.
They've been on the back end of some dodgy VAR decisions.
Yeah,
and all that. Definitely. Yeah. Anyway, less of the Lookman jokes. But yeah, Lookman out, Fornals in, Shaw out. He went off with concussion, didn't he? Shaw. He got knocked out at some point.
He looked a bit groggy. He had to go off. Yeah.
Yeah, he ended up going down. I mean, that was before his shoddy defending for that goal, that Bernardo Silva goal. What Shaw and Maguire were doing. I mean, the amount of money them two cost, absolute shambles. Just absolute shambles. Don't know what's going on there. We also see that Varane has joined Phil Jones in the Man United physiotherapy room, loving it together, living it large. Because how many games has Varane played this season?
Not many, is it? 3 maybe? 4?
He got injured away with France, didn't he? Came back, missed a few games, then come back into the team, and then he's got injured again.
Yeah. Not good. A lot of stuff going on at United. Anyway, that's the questions polished up. Ben, it's your honours this week to do the Dream Team Tonic Cash League top 10.
With pleasure. Right. In 10th place, Lee Watson, Cupid Stunts. In 9th place, Fricks DT Tonic 11 version 3, James Fricker.
Here he is.
The best team name ever, isn't it? 9th place, boys. Finally, one of us, i.e. me, gets onto the into the Dream Team Tonic top 10. Can't tell you how
Yay.
happy I am.
Brilliant.
I'm aiming for that number 1 spot. I'm coming
on,
for you,
mate.
Jonathan Perro.
Oh, yeah, he fights.
Oh.
Did you spot Kerry Jones got 70 points this week?
Yeah, 2 teams in the top
Yeah.
10 now.
That's a massive score.
Oh, sorry, Ben. Carry on.
Yeah, 8th place, Goldie looking, I would imagine, Chain. Kerry Jones, 70 points, yeah. 7th place, Grogs United, Kerry Jones. 6th place, Penenka FC, Heath Robson. 5th place, Maxi Boy, Jonathan Perrott. 4th place, Winging It, Henry Cartridge. 3rd place, Sir Alex FC 2, Alex Cole. 2nd place, Gold Hunting, Dan Sherwood. And 1st place, Braveheart, Freedom, Jonathan Perrott.
Fine, still there every week. He's continuously up there. 813 points, massive. Right. Let's jump across to the most owned. We'll do the top 1K ownership. We'll just touch on the top 5. I wrote that down wrong. Anyway, right, top 5, top 1K ownership. Mohamed Salah up there, 99.8%. So everyone's wised up. Everyone knows that
Apart from 2 people.
Apart from 2 people. So everyone is incorrect. But 8.1 million he is now.
Yeah.
8.1 million. Unbelievable.
20 people, actually.
Or is it 20? Oh. Yeah, top 1K, not top 100.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's true,
We'll go back to school. Edwin Mendy in 2nd place. I'm quickly moving on. 66.7% owned. Syed Ben Rama, 58% up there.
Yeah.
He
Massive.
is a bargain at that price.
He is. Obviously, 580 teams very happy with his performance this week, in midweek. Ronaldo there, 7.7 million, 55.5% owned. And the main man, João Cancelo, 5.7 million, 47.4% owned. Any surprises on the list for you lads? No, quickly moving on then.
Yeah, there's one on there. Kai Havertz in the top 1K ownership. 36% of teams have got Kai Havertz. I suppose that was a punt, really. I can understand that because
Lukaku to Havertz, weren't it? Just 2, 3, 4 games maybe out of Havertz. He finally scored, obviously, this weekend. So I think he got an assist the weekend before. So he has ticked along, to be fair. You're actually a decent option in the end. It looked a bit ropey at one point. I think it was the Norwich result, weren't it, where he didn't get anything. But yeah. Latest ins, James.
He'll be in the most transferred out next week.
Yeah, he will be. He will be.
Latest ins.
Yeah.
No surprises at the top, I think. Monster Haul last week. Another return this week. Reece James, nearly 25,000 brought him in. Most brought in this week. This is a surprise. In 2nd place, we've got Emil Smith-Rowe with 20,000 new owners.
Yeah.
Foden, 13,000 new owners. Tielemans, 12,000 new ownners. And Chilwell, 12,000 new owners. Any surprises on there, boys?
Who's Tielemans?
How do you say? Is it not Tielemans? How do you say it?
Tielemans.
Oh, there's no D in it.
The Rocket Man.
Tielemans.
James, don't wind him up again.
He's pretty cheap, isn't he? 3.5 million.
He is.
He is.
Yeah.
I had looked at him, but it's Leicester, isn't it? You don't know what Leicester's going to. You don't know what Leicester's going to turn up. One minute they're looking all right, and the next minute they're capitulating.
He limped off today at the end of the game.
Oh, did he? Oh, that's
So
good to know.
he might be injured, but he got the international break, hasn't he? So should be back.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Any
Any,
surprises on that?
yeah, Ivan Toney.
Yeah. 4 million as well.
Yeah, yeah. You would have thought he'd score against Norwich, though, didn't you?
Ugh,
Oh God.
he's not doing
Yeah.
so well, is he?
What about Daniel Farker, eh? He's gone and won. Norwich have gone, no, we don't do that. You can fark off.
Yeah, I think that was planned before the game, weren't it?
Yeah, that was strange.
Yeah, weird one. But yeah, I mean, they're going to go down, aren't they? Right, looks of it. I don't think a manager change is going to change that 11. It doesn't matter. They're not. I don't think they're just not good enough. Not Brighton. Sorry, Brentford were pretty unlucky. Looking at the chances and stuff.
Yeah, my phone popped up and it said Mbeumo goal, Tony assist, and I was like, because I've got them both in FPL.
Yeah.
And sorry, in fan team, and I was like, yes, come on. And then it was chalked off. Apparently, it was really close offside. So annoying. There you go.
Yeah.
Not a dream team asset, though.
He just can't score, can he?
Either it's a post or he's offside.
Yeah, that's it.
But it sounds a bit like Werner.
Yeah, he does. He does. It'll be an injury next.
Yeah. Well, he was injured last week, wasn't he?
He was actually. Yeah, he's been out. Yeah, he was out for a couple of games, weren't he? Right, Ben, most transferred out.
Yeah, the top of the list is Lukaku, 33,000 transferred out. Alonso, 23,000 transferred out. Grealish, 20,000 transferred out. Pogba suspended, 11,000 transferred out. And your mate Andros Townsend, 9,000 transferred out.
The Exodus.
Yeah.
Who's just below Townsend?
Adama Traore, baby oil man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No surprise. Well, De Bruyne's up bottom of the list there, isn't he? 5,000 out.
Yeah.
Interesting one.
Strange
They've
one.
been following the flower pot man.
Yeah, looks like it.
It's a strange one, that, because that was the first game of the weekend, so you get to see the lineups.
Yeah, and he's starting and playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People had enough, I suppose, or they were moving the funds around.
Yeah.
Can understand it.
Definitely. If you need the funds, then it's understandable. Can't really go wrong with that. Right, the differential league. Updated the table, didn't we? The community were out in front, 74 points. James in second with 58 points. Fergie in third with 38 points. And Tony fourth, 29 points. Ben bringing up the rear with 22 points.
Yeah.
The choices for this week, I've not put them on there, so I'm going to try and remember. The community went for Aubameyang.
Yeah.
What did he get? Minus what?
-1. Oh, minus. Got to check that now.
I did wish that.
-4.
-4. That's a great start to the month for the community.
That's your voodoo. You said something, didn't you?
Yeah, about falling flat on the face. Well, they got too far ahead. So they get first pick every time. So happy with that. So, James, your choice was?
I went. Well, I would have gone. Yeah. Well, I would have gone for all the picks that you guys went for, except I was last again. So I went for Ben Chilwell, who got 0 points.
Nil point.
Yes.
Who did you go for, mate?
Foden. So I've got 3 points.
Who did Fergie go for?
Fergie went for Reece James.
Yeah.
And he got 9 points.
What a bastard. Right. And I went for Jota.
Who got no points.
Nil point. So, yeah, it's tightening up though up there. Obviously, Ben to get a bit of a haul this month and going into the new year. I think that'll be quite close. We are, I think, 17 subscribers off 1,000. So if you are listening
It's getting
still,
close.
click that subscribe button. Jesus Christ, please. Just hit it. It's there. Get yourself across to dreamteamtonic.com. Look at the website and the blogs on there. Connor, his blog team's doing pretty well. So, yeah,
He's
get
had a
reading his
bad
blog.
week,
Bad week this week,
but he's doing pretty well, and his blog's brilliant.
yeah, it is. He puts a lot of effort into it, so it's a really good read. So we do recommend going across and giving that a read. We've got Louis and Max on the FPL Reaction Podcast. Reed, who does an FPL blog. Reese and Steve, both for the Sky Fantasy Football blog. And Mike with his amazing fan team blog. Once we do get to 1,000 subscribers, we will be giving away a shirt loot box from @shirtlootbox on Twitter. So yeah, get subscribed, get followed, get retweeting all our stuff. Again, if there's anything for you to add, if there's any suggestions you'd want including in the podcast, or if there's anything you want to let us know, then do just message us, either direct message on @DreamTeamTonic or drop a comment below on the video. We're open to ideas and stuff. We want to make the podcast as good as we can. Like we want your involvement too. Anybody else out to add? Ben?
No, nothing to add.
James?
Good pod, lads.
Yeah, nothing from me.
Happy days. Yeah, take care. We'll speak to you next week.
Cheers. See you
Cheers.
soon.
See you later.